contain bad words. Okay. All right. We're going, I think. Yeah. Sure. As always, we're stumbling out of the blocks. All right. Welcome back, folks, to another episode of the Old Man Gaming Hour.
Or so.
I'm Jake. This gentleman over here is Josh. Say hello, Josh.
Hey. It was a long night at work, man. From the Ohana room.
Yeah.
You know it's
Well,
fucking
Josh is
strong.
fresh off of a 12-hour stint. But this week we're going to touch on, since they just did it yesterday, the reveal show. All right, yeah, you need to mute that. Good job.
Yeah. That's my sound test.
The reveal show that they had out at for Warhammer Day. We'll touch on that. I think the Warhammer community website is still having issues with the articles. We'll check that in a minute. But we're going to go over some of that stuff. And then also, it's Pimp My List time again, folks.
Oh, Pimp My List. Also known as, well, we don't have anything really to talk about. You want to talk about Pimp My List?
Well, I mean, I think we probably needed to do another show after the update that happened a couple weeks ago. So we have 4 lists to go over that were submitted via members of our Discord channel. So if anybody is out there and likes this concept and would like us to review your list on one of our upcoming shows, you can do so by what, Josh?
Joining the Discord. You could also like and subscribe and follow us here on YouTube. You can check us out on Twitch. I mean, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Snapchat. I mean, is there anything we're really not on?
We're on everything.
So come check us out.
We're like flies on shit.
We're definitely shit.
Yeah. So, so anyways, if you guys are in the Discord or want to join the Discord, there's a channel to submit your list there. If not, then you can just shoot us your list on any social media platform or make a comment here on our shows, and we'll review your lists, and maybe you'll be on the next show.
I mean, honestly, while we're doing this show, if you were to be in the chat right now and you hit us up with a list in the chat, we'd probably fucking go over it.
It's possible. But I guess before we get into the main topic, we'll hit all of our other small topics and get those out of the way. How about this week outside of Warhammer?
Well, I'm on an 11-day stretch in the Ohana room.
11 days.
Yep. We're watching some football, trying to sleep when we can. I don't know.
Cool.
I cooked breakfast.
Okay. Josh is on one of those things this morning. All right. It's good. It's good topic. Outside of Warhammer for me, really haven't done anything either. We are going to play softball this afternoon for a doubleheader.
Nice.
The body feels okay, I guess, after last week. Not as sore as I have been at the beginning of the season, so I guess I'm getting a little bit more in shape than I was.
Like to hear it.
But that's really the only thing we got going on here, outside of Warhammer at least.
Okay.
So let's. I know you've been working on some stuff on your work desk here, Josh. So what do you got going on there?
I have a lot of stuff. I've been painting Ethan's OBR army. It was his birthday. I decided part of what I'm doing, besides getting him a car, is to paint his models. So I've been throwing down the army builder speed paints. on these guys for the base layers, and I'm gonna go back and hit them with some highlights and stuff with some of my my war paints. So I've been doing that. Also, been printing out trophies for our GT in February. So I dropped those off to you before I came up here. And then my next project, after I get this army painted, which I should be able to bang out in my 11 days, is going to be I'm going to start throwing together my Legion Imperialis so I can get a game in with Jeff. If I can get enough of it built before I am off, then I will probably get a game in before I drive home. So that's kind of my plan.
Very cool.
That's what I've been on. So I've been working on stuff, even though I'm here on this long stretch. I'm at the work desk in the Ohana room and getting stuff done. So
awesome, dude. Yeah, I think that army's gonna look real cool once it's done, and then
I think it'll look pretty good too.
We can definitely then get E into some GTs with us, which would be super fun too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think if I did anything productive. You know what? I built up some Stormcast models. I did do that.
Okay.
I kind of in preparation for possibly switching to them as an army. So I'd have to really review some lists. I haven't dove into that, but the Flesh Eater Courts are probably going to get maybe one more go at it at our RTT maybe. And then after that, since they really didn't get any updates on the battle scroll update they put out, I think they're going to be bottom tier. So
yeah. So I was watching Rob's tier list last night at work when I did get a chance to watch a little something, and he has Stormcast in the A tier.
Yeah.
He has Feck in the whatever the lowest one is, F minus.
Garbage bin tier.
HIJ. I think it was the J tier. So yeah, they need something.
Yeah.
So.
Again, like we talked about before, they don't give you enough ability to stay alive. Probably because they have recursion, but if you play against someone that knows how to play against the army, you just can't recur enough, I would say.
I think they either need slightly better recursion, which I think would be real close to teetering the other way. They need to be less points so you could bring more units, which would also bring them real close. Or they need something to keep them alive a little easier, which I think would probably be the best move for them. But I don't know what that would be. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a better, like a tough spell that gives a 5 upward save or something, like for the board.
Yeah. I mean, that probably would help, although they have access to a 5 up ward prayer, but you know what I mean, you got to charge it up, and so you can't have it every turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough.
Although if you had 2 priests and they both prayed, you could have one.
Can't both pray for the same thing.
Yeah, but you could both save up stuff. So
sure,
one of them, so one of them can be here and put it on somebody while the other one's jacking up.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Turn,
but then you're, I mean, I don't know.
Then you're just overloading on priests, though, probably, just to give a,
Anyways, boards and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a viable strategy too. But anyway, outside of building up Stormcast, like Josh said, we did get some 3D prints of some of the trophies, and I guess we'll do a sneak peek since I have it in my hand.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you which trophy this is for, but this is a trophy that will be, well, this is a part of the trophy anyway, I guess.
Yeah. it's just the bust.
That will be for one of the trophies we're going to hand out during the GT. So we got our little demon looking dude.
What could it be?
I don't know. You might have to check out our social medias for posts when we start building these. But anyway, this guy is pretty cool. We're going to mount him on something that's undecided at the moment. And then we'll get those guys up and running. And we'll probably do, like we did last time when we made trophies, we'll throw out some pictures on social media so you guys can check out what you're playing for.
Yeah.
So.
And then the overall championship or overall champ trophy is still not quite worked out. We have it. We have a plan. We just have
we got all the ideas. We just got to put the action on it. So.
Yeah, we just have to put it in action. So, but I think we're close to having what we need to get everything together as far as funds. So.
Yep.
So.
Speaking of GTs.
Yeah.
Most recently, in fact, this weekend, as we speak, the North American Masters tournament is going on, which is pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So the guys that run the Wicked Dicey gaming group, they host Everwinter in Boston every I forget what month it is. It's in the winter though. Anyways.
Weird.
Yeah. Cool title.
It is a cool title.
But they hold it out there in the winter months. I'm blanking on what month it's actually held in. But anyways, they that group that holds Everwinter is now organized the North American Masters tournament. And it is an 8-player team event, kind of like Worlds is
like,
set up.
The European Team Championships and all that.
So the way it's working is they took North America, if you can imagine a map. I seen the picture somewhere, but I couldn't find it this morning. I probably saw it on Twitter.
On Facebook. I think I saw
it. Oh, it was on Facebook?
It might have been Twitter. Yeah, I've seen it a few places.
But they took North America, so United States and Canada, and they divided it all up into regions, and the regions are named after realms in the AoS world.
Yeah.
So I think that was pretty fucking cool.
It's a real cool idea.
Yeah. So they have a whole map, a graphic of map and stuff with all the different names of the stuff on there.
There's 8 teams.
Yep.
And 8 regions.
So basically, what it is, how they structured it, is from each of the regions mapped out on the map. You got that region gets to pick 8 of their best players that reside in those regions to make up your team. Hey, what's up, man? Psycho is here. Yeah, so the 8 of the best players make up your team. All those people go to Boston, and you play a team event, which is, if you're unfamiliar, your team gets paired into another team, and then you do the whole pairings ritual, where your comp gets to go up against somebody else's comp, and the captains pick the pairings and who plays, and then at the end, the total points out of all 8 of those games is your score, and then that determines on which team beats what other team.
Yep.
So it's real fun. Probably, I don't know if we'd ever get into that per se, because again, it takes 8 players to make a team.
Yeah,
something
ourselves.
Well, or playing in it. I mean, if there was some kind of more of a regional event where you could have a bunch of local teams, but I don't know. In the United States, it's not as popular as in Europe.
Although I think
right?
they're trying to make it more
Yeah,
popular. I think that's why they're doing it. And it makes
sure.
sense because since that's the format for the European Team Championships, it makes sense that we should start doing that more to get better practice
Hmm.
at it. So
Yeah,
as
and
a country, we'll have a better shot going over
from
there.
what I hear also is if you're into competitive Warhammer play, it's some of the most fun type of competitive Warhammer you can get into, just because of the whole concept of, you guys construct your teams and your lists based off of like the current meta, and like you might bring an off meta list to counter a meta list. So when you do your pairings, you can pair up and that kind of thing. So there's a lot more strategy involved than just, hey, I'm
Yeah,
playing this one guy at a tournament.
or if you don't have a team that matches up, or I mean an army that matches up, you can take your weakest army and just throw it up against
Their strongest and just
their
take the L.
strongest
Yeah,
and just take that L and expect to get more wins on the rest. Yeah,
yeah,
there's lots of strategy as far as the pairings and stuff go. It's actually a really cool, real cool system. I would like to do it. Like if we ever did a team tournament, that's what I would prefer is like something like that. The problem will be the size of the team. So we would have to do like maybe like a 3-man team or something tournament.
yeah. Maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Um,
So we've got ideas, but we're gonna get our first GT under our belt and
yep.
then go from there. So we're not quite at that point, but it's something that we're tossing around for the future. So
Yeah. I also think that'll be a cool idea because there's not a whole lot of actual team events that get held too. Um, outside of course, this North American Masters, which is a big one. Nashville has a teams event, but I think it's only a 4-man teams event. Mike was telling me about there was another one somewhere, but I can't remember where that one was at offhand. But there's very little as far as team events go. So
yeah,
maybe we'll get on the bandwagon and secure our place in the team tournament scene.
yeah, I think that would
That'd
be
be kind of
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Um,
So did you want to talk about how that's going so far? Day one looks like Team Aquishy, Texas, and the area. So like must be the Southwest. I don't even know. Is in first right now. They're 2-0. Team Shaman. I don't know. Pacific Northwest is also 2-0. And then our guys from the Midwest
mm,
in eighth place right now, 0-2. So hopefully we can see a little bit of improvement there.
yeah. I can't remember who's all on the team, but I know Mike and Jack Callwood are out there.
Yeah.
Also, Michael. Blanking. I played him before. He's from the Detroit Warhammer Club. Michael Caldwell. Sorry, Jesus, man.
Caldwell.
Yep. So he's out there playing on the team, and I can't remember the other 5 off the top of my head. I wish they had them listed out on BCP
You,
like that.
you can look at it.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, here, give me a minute. So you just want me to tell you who's in the Midwest team?
Yeah,
Is
just
that
our
right?
Midwest players. Yeah.
Our boys. Yeah, so it's Barton Kennelly playing Lumineth. He plays normally with Tough Crowd. Jack Callwood, like you said, playing Daughters. He's from Cobra Kai Gaming Dojo. Joe Cryer is Icy Dice. He's playing Zinch. Keegan Graves is from 51% win rate, and he's playing Skaven. Mike Caldwell, like you said, he doesn't have a team, and he's Night Haunt. Roush is High Ground Gaming, and he is playing Ozark Bone Reapers. Nicholas True is from Tough Crowd. He's playing Slaves to Darkness. And Raymond Lane from Hooray Nurgle.
Hmm.
That's a team name. And he's playing Maggie Kid and Nurgle. So
Imagine. Cool.
yeah,
Yeah. So
hopefully we can get
we
those
got good
guys
players
going.
going out there.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
didn't realize I seen Keegan on the stream the other morning, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, Keegan's out there. Um, we had a pleasure of meeting him for the first time 2 years ago at the Michigan GT. Super cool dude. He came in with he drove 12 hours to get to Michigan to play in the GT there. And then what's up, Ray? First time chatter.
What's up, Ray?
Hell yeah, man. Fucking finally get out of bed to watch the show.
I mean, we're usually in the middle of the night or butt ass early in the morning, so I mean it's hard to catch us sometimes live.
But yeah, anyway, Keegan's a pretty cool dude. Like I said, we got to meet him for the first time a couple years ago. He came. He was at the Michigan GT again this year, trying to defend his title because I believe he did win it the previous year.
Nice.
Or came in close second. I can't remember, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's fun. And Nick True, we got to meet him at Adepticon. He TO'd that event. That's who Nick True is, if you forgot.
Okay.
But yeah, very cool. Cool group of dudes, and I wish you guys success today.
Much success.
Much success. Hope you win.
Just so you know, there are currently 4 Night Haunt in the top 10.
Yeah, I did glance and see that. You hear that, Ray? 4 Night Haunt in the top of the North America Masters Tournament. Just saying, they're still good.
Even after nerfs.
Well, actually, I think they didn't. Yeah,
rules?
They're playing prior. Yeah.
No. Okay.
But still, they're still good.
Yeah,
all right.
Some big names in the top 5. So, yeah, but let's roll.
Upcoming events, namely our tour events, because that's what we give a shit about. Oh, fucking all hail Nagash, get fucking narrative ass out of here.
Can't hate Nagash.
All right, so our GT, our RTT is going to be held November 9th, again at Our House Games in Monroe, Michigan. Currently, drum roll please. Currently,
We're
sold the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yes. So, the other day.
Hot ticket.
Oh, congratulations to Ray for finally signing up for an event. Let's give a round of applause for Ray.
I like to hear it.
Yeah, so Ray got in before the tickets were sold out, and that'll be super fun.
Yep. And we're actually considering adding a 12 table. One of our guys, Tim, decided he wants to play, and we're like, well, maybe we could fit another table. And he said he's our train guy, so if we can get the train from him, we have the mats, we can make it work if we can fit the tables. So, yeah. Yep.
So we'll probably increase that to one more table here shortly to get Tim in, and then I guess technically he'd be the first on the wait list, so he'll just get a spot if we increase it to the one more table. Also, first on the wait list is Gabe Cobal. He did contact me. Well, he put in Discord that he was going to sign up, and then he was late to the show, I guess, yesterday morning, and they were already sold out. But I offered him first on the wait list, so if we do have a drop, we'll get Gabe in on there also.
I mean, worst case scenario, I'll drop so we can play. I mean, he's friend of the show.
Yeah. We'll make it work out one way or the other here. So
we expect a couple drops, but if we don't get them, I'll drop. That's fine.
But that's going to be a super fun event. We're having good turnouts for those, man. I mean, we're constantly selling them out. We have never had an event where we had less than what we advertised for.
Yep.
So
maybe in the future we can make them bigger, but I mean, we are limited on space at our house, so we'll have to figure that out.
I really do think the maximum is 24 players in that space.
Well,
and that'll be kind of tight.
We could theoretically invade that other room if we force them to
I suppose, but then that's kind of like it's a weird segregation of
I played in this tournament,
players and stuff.
Legendary Game Fair back in the day. Uh, it was it was one of the first tournaments that I ever went to, and I made a lot of friends there. It was one of the times where I got absolutely wasted. And we went to the strip club. It was crazy.
Uh,
So, anyways, but we go to the strip club. We're partying all night. We got to get up the next day and go. And I played against my buddy Jay in the rape closet. They had this place so filled with players that they had like all the main room and then another second big room, and then we were just in this table in this closet, and it was fucking crazy. But it was cool
Jesus,
because I mean, if there's space, you can fill it.
sure, I guess so. We're not gonna do anything like that. We'll just fill out the room we're in.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a possibility of invading the other part of the store. It
Yeah,
would be
they
good
always have other
visibility,
events.
but yeah, he always plans. And it's for him. It makes sense to bring people in on a weekend.
And that's what
Um,
I was thinking. I mean, like we bring people in every time, so maybe he'll be willing. But
yeah,
we'll figure it out. That's not going to be needed for this next one. We'll grow as much as we can, and then we'll have to do um, a tournament every month, and maybe do one in another location or something. We'll
yeah,
figure it out.
we'll see
But
how that goes for the future.
yeah,
But our other upcoming event is, of course, the Old Man Gaming Open 2025, held in February, February 22nd and 23rd this upcoming year. Uh, like I said, we're gearing toward that. We had a sneak peek of one of the trophies for that already earlier in the show. Um,
they're going to be cool.
yeah, we're gonna have some cool ass trophies. That's for fucking sure. Um, we also, like I said, we've already got the hall lined up. We have started the production of the trophies. Um, most recently we set up a hotel block at Town Place Suites in Monroe. If anybody's coming in from out of town,
Perfect.
that
How many
link
rooms do we get so
is
far?
I reserved 15 in the block, and then
With the
Mar-
option to get more if we need
yeah,
them.
yeah, Mary over there said that if we needed more, she'll monitor that. If we get close to selling them out, she'll offer us up some more rooms. So
Love it.
also, yeah, Ray, the Open has plenty of spots left right now. I think
Yep.
currently only 11 out of the 40 are sold, but I imagine that'll go up as time gets closer.
Yep. As it gets closer, we expect to fill that. 40. We have 40 people that play GTS and stuff,
Yeah,
and hopefully we'll get some of you guys from the shop to come for your first GT experience, and maybe you'll love it and want to start going to things like Adepticon and things with us. Uh,
yeah,
because I mean it's just super fun, and I know a lot of people are concerned that oh, it's like too competitive, and I don't I'm not like a super competitive player. Well, I mean we even have a prize for last place,
I think
so
I
I
think
mean
though
it's just for
people,
fun.
yeah, people go to. There's a very small percentage of the players that go there to try to fucking win,
Yeah,
like actually try to win a tournament. Like we go and we try to do well. I think is
right.
what our goal is.
Yep, we
And
try to
then
be
and then
above 500.
yeah, and then winning might be a perk, all right, or whatever, like a
Yep.
bonus. But we're not in the position, I don't think, to outplay every person in every army that we ever play against. So we just go to have funsies, and it's really
I
for
would
the
say a
fucking
majority of those people.
it's for the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The you go to a bigger tournament and stuff to meet people, make new friends, hang out after we're for dinner and stuff, and
yeah, we always hang with people for
yeah,
dinner. We, that's how we met Jeff, and now we talk to him all the time. Jeff
sure,
Campbell Crowley, um, all the guys that are out there in Boston right now that we're friends with. So, you know, I mean,
yep,
it's just for hanging out with buddies and playing 5 games in a weekend, and seeing how you can do and figuring out what you need to do to get a little bit better. And the more games you play, the better you're going to get.
Yep.
So,
And also, Ray, forget about your past experiences because they don't mean shit.
yeah.
You're with the
This is
old man.
AoS.
You're with Old Man Gaming Crew now, and we're only going to show you good times.
Also, this is AoS. This isn't 40K.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. So, anyways, if anybody is interested in getting tickets for the Old Man Gaming Open, 11 out of 40 is sold right now, but that's kind of not an accurate number because Clay is bringing a group of his guys up from Kentucky, and Clay's the only one that's registered so far. So I'd imagine another 5 to 8 tickets will be sold from those guys coming up.
Nice.
I did talk to him about the rooms, and he was super excited about getting a discount hotel room for that. So
Yeah,
I think they'll do that.
For them.
Whenever they can muster up the funds and reserve all that. So,
but we're gonna have to do a home and away with Clay. That means.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's already mentioned it.
Yeah, we'll go down to his.
Yeah.
As long as I'm off of work, or if I know about it, so I can plan, I'll definitely go down. I'd love to go to Kentucky and play some games.
Yeah. So, anyways, those are the 2 events we got coming up. Make sure to watch social media, get on Discord for those. What else we got? Oh, sure, let's do that. Warhammer Day was this past week, right?
Yep.
And alongside of Warhammer Day, they release some specific models just for that. And they also did a preview show, the Warhammer preview show, Warhammer Day preview show. Let's see if I can get it up here. All right. Hopefully, cross your fingers, boys, that the website works. I doubt it, but it might. So on their website, they have the preview show article. I did watch the preview show on Twitch they had yesterday. Some cool things for AoS are coming out, but the article would be better for us on the show to show you pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see if it just works. Oh, GW. Why do you hate us so much?
Such a fucking fail.
Fucking application error. So whoever either, I don't know how they run their website, but whoever created the article didn't actually attach the URL correctly to it, or doesn't direct you to the article or something. So we'll have to give you guys just the audio preview, I guess.
Yeah.
So in the announcement, you might be able to tell from the preview show here, or the preview pictures here. They have a relaunch of Warhammer Underworlds, new edition of the game is coming out with a box set of 2 forces for that game, and the cards and everything. But the 2 forces are, of course, Stormcast and Skaven. I really wish we had the pictures to show you guys, because the models are pretty cool.
I really like the Skaven. They're pretty cool. I think the Stormcast look like Stormcast.
Let me see if that article doesn't work either. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, anyways, one of the Skaven dudes that I thought was pretty cool looking, kind of gives off General Grievous vibes, because he's like riding inside a Doom wheel type of thing, or a Doom Flare, or whatever it's kind of.
Do, don't they?
Well, I don't think that particular. I think it's like a Doom Flare that a dude is inside of.
Oh, and they usually ride on top of those.
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay.
So that's kind of a neat concept with that. They have the little rat with the little bomb strapped onto the back of it, like a kamikaze little rat dude.
Yeah.
And then they have some other. I just hate that they Maybe we'll have to revisit this when the website works.
I wonder if I can do one of these. This is some of the rats.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the Doom wheel we were talking about.
Yeah. So that guy's pretty cool. He's like right inside that fucking thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's like they're diggers of some sort. They're and then these are they're like globadiers kind of. I'm not real sure exactly what they are. The one guy's like a poison wind globadier. I'm not sure what the other one is. He's got some little blades for hands, but I mean they're freaking awesome sculpts.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I guess out of the Stormcast and out of the Skaven ones are better. Stormcast dudes are okay. I mean, they got cool bases and different poses than some of the normal Stormcast dudes. That's kind of like a little ninja dude, which is kind of neat, like a Assassin's Creed type of dude.
And here's the last one. He's a castigator. Isn't that what these?
Yeah, that one is like meh, I guess, because
it's kind of
you basically said you're removing castigators and then you add a new sculpt of a castigator. I don't know. And maybe they won't be available in AoS, so that's another thing that we don't know yet. And if they'll have rules to include those warbands.
If not, they'll be able to be used as like champions for units or something. Yeah. So I mean, that's always a possibility.
Other news from Warhammer Day is the actual Warhammer Day model. There you go. You read my mind. Actually, that's not the guy I was talking about.
It's not.
No.
Yeah, it's Chaos Sorcerer, isn't it?
Yeah, but the Warhammer Day model is the guy that's holding the tome. He's got like a big skull mask on.
Well, he's not on there. He's not on this particular thing.
Yeah, I think it's a different article how they broke it out. But what you just showed is I believe that's part of the. Oh well, I guess we should say this. They did officially announce that Slaves of Darkness is getting their battle tome.
Okay.
They said soon, which I don't know how soon it's going to be because it has to be after the Stormcast one.
Right, that's what I was going to say. I mean, they're behind
as usual. They're having another reveal show, they said, in November. So maybe November's reveal show will be the actual Stormcast book, which would then be like a 2-week pre-order after that, and then probably maybe in a month or so then is Slaves of Darkness.
Yeah, maybe.
Something. But alongside of the new Battle Tome, they also have a Dark Oath Spearhead box that's going to come out.
Yeah, I don't have a picture of that one.
So if you guys are interested in any of the Dark Oath stuff and didn't get the Dark Oath Army starter box or whatever that was that came out a while back, they're going to have a Spearhead version coming soon. So
I did not get that
yet.
You said that. You always say that, but I have not been interested in the Dark Oath stuff for whatever reason. Yeah. I mean, if they became good, I'd probably get them.
Yeah, if the rules were good, you would have already bought it. Yeah. So, and then the other big news, at least from AoS on the preview show, was the Christmas boxes.
Yep.
So, what did we have? We had a Flesh Eater Quartz one. We had an Iron Jaws one.
Here's the Feck one.
Yep, so that one comes with 6 Morbegs, 6 other knights, depending on how you want to build them, flayers or horrors. You get 10 Crypt Guard, and then the Judge Gormain.
Yep. And then we have
pretty good
cities.
Box. Oh yeah, cities. So this box, they talked about the way they constructed these. So these boxes actually go hand in hand with the Spearhead boxes. So like in that particular Christmas box, I think you get Fusiliers, the dude on the ogre, a cannon, cav unit.
Yeah.
But in the Spearhead box, you get
the command unit too.
Oh yeah. In the Spearhead box, you get a cannon, and steel helms and stuff like that, where it like, one box is maybe more shooty and the other box is more foot troops or whatever. So,
Yeah.
so it's kind of neat how they did that. And then, oh yeah, this box I'm gonna get for sure. It's Iron Jaws. So you're gonna get 10 Ard Boys, uh, basically 6 Rekkas, and however you want to build those, and then you get a big pig.
Yeah. It's a pretty good box. It might be something I pick up too, just because I like the sculpts. And then the last one that I have is Nurgle.
Oh yeah, the Nurgle box. That's actually a really good box too. If you're
That's a
getting
great
into
box.
Nurgle, you get a unit of Rotmire Creed. You get 4 flies. You get the Harbinger, and you get a unit of Blight Kings. So
Yeah, it's a really cool box too. Damn it.
Yeah, I know. It is a fucking good box. It's a real good box for Nurgle players, or if like you're interested in starting Nurgle. I don't remember what's in the Nurgle Spearhead box off chance, but I'm sure it's like, in conjunction with that box would be a good start to an army for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Oh.
But again, I wish we could have spent a little bit more time on showing you all the photos on screen of that stuff. But oh well, we'll chalk that up to GW doesn't know how to run a web page, I guess. So before we get into our main topic, we do want to give a shout out to our sponsors. So if you guys are looking for any of your stuff you need to play games, you need to check out Old Man Gaming. Woo! GrayMatterGaming.org. Andy over at Gray Matter Games or Gaming is one of our close buddies. Been with us since the creation of the Old Man Gaming group, and is our sole. I don't know. What do you want to say?
He's where we get all of our mats
Yeah.
for all of our tournaments and our personal mats as well. He is also where we got our custom objective markers. He also has a bunch of other things to help you with gaming. So if you decide he does the custom objectives, but he also has other ones to choose from that are just cool looking objectives from Gray Matter. So he has a lot of cool stuff, and he has a lot of things, a lot of ideas. So he may be coming up with some new stuff. So we'll have to wait and see what he comes up with next. But Andy's a great guy, and he always helps us out for prize support for our tournaments and things like that. So,
yep. Just showing you a little preview of his webpage at the moment. He does have a spearhead mat too, in case you guys are interested in.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
Playing Spearhead or getting like into tabletop wargaming in general. Spearhead's a pretty good game to get started with.
Yeah, Ethan won the Spearhead mat. One tournament we had, one Rogue Trader, and we got it out, and it's a double-sided mat. It's freaking got both of the different layouts. It's really nice. It's really cool.
I like that too. That he made it up actually and to mimic the actual game boards. So that's fun.
Yeah. And we're talking about maybe the owner of our house wants to run a Spearhead event. So it's definitely, it would be something if you got one, it would be useful. We may be doing that soon.
Yep. So yeah, right. That may be an upcoming event where we might do. Also, I did hook up Andy with Chris. I don't know where they're at on negotiations, but Andy wants to get his product into the store for sale. Nice. So maybe coming soon that Our House Games starts carrying Gray Matter Gaming. Yep. Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Ray's got that in his cart. You know?
All I got to do is show Ray the website, and he goes, click, 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 take my money.
I mean, I can't say anything. I do the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. So yeah, it's and Andy's got great product too. It's not cheap stuff. It's high quality
Yeah,
H2O.
everything that I've gotten from them, we still use today. So.
The other sponsor that we have some stuff from her, Michelle Anderson, to give out at the next RTT. Is T Fritz Treasures on Etsy. I believe her site currently is on vacation mode, so I'm not going to pull it up because it'll just She's got. I did send her a message the other day and was asking her what was going on, like if they're actually on vacation or whatever. They did have some vacation that they were doing, but also she said she needed to get caught up on orders because she had too many to keep up with, so she had to put her site on hold. So if you guys want to get some stuff, we'll have some measuring sticks and things to show you guys at the RTT. But she does all sorts of stuff on her site for game aids, objective markers, and terrain bases and whatnots. So just keep an eye out for T Fritz Treasures on Etsy. When it's back up and running, then you guys can put your orders in if you want anything from her site.
I don't think we do have a referral code, Ray. We should talk to both groups and see if we can get a referral code, just so they know that we're sending people to their direction.
Ray, hold off just for today, and I'll send Andy a message and see if he's got any referral codes he can give us, or if he has one that he's using right now, and then I'll shoot it over to you. That's what I can do. That's what I can do for friends.
There you go.
All right. Main topic, boys and girls. We are ready.
Are we ready?
I think so.
Okay. Your screen's not ready, or the...
Oh, I'm like, what is going on? There we go. High quality show. Thought I had it set up to be seamless. Yeah.
This is why we get all the views and all the big bucks.
There we go. Now it's ready.
Before we get into this, I just want to remind you guys that we're on every form of social media. Join us, especially our Facebook and our YouTube. Follow us, click the bell, subscribe. You don't want to miss the shows, so you might as well get involved right now. And then get on our Discord, because we I feel like we have a pretty solid Discord community going right now, and it's only getting bigger. We have lots of discussions about Warhammer and on occasion some other stuff. And then we also advertise, when we're doing a show and when we're doing tournaments and other people's tournaments and things like that. So jump in and join the squad, and we're actually going to be having maybe a few people join our tournament team as well. So that's how we're going to announce stuff like that. So get involved. Anyways, what's first?
Okay. So actually, I want to give a shout out to Ray, since he's the only active chatter at the moment. Ray he follows directions really well. So during the show, Ray became a new follower for us on Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've even said Twitter yet.
He found it. Ray found it. He's more tech savvy than you.
I like it. I feel like every day you tell me that. So
one of these days we'll get you semi there. Maybe
I can
not.
Keep you alive if you're dead. That's all I don't care if I can figure out my headphones.
Oh man! All right, so
we will work on something for that, Ray. We will work on something for that. We've got some ideas. Maybe we'll run some by you and see if there's stuff you're interested in. But he's talking about OMG
merch. Okay.
We're
Yeah,
working on it.
sure. We do have ideas. But it's not anything solid yet.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
just trying to get ready for our GT. Once we have that locked down, we'll start working on other stuff like that. But we'll get you if you join the tournament squad, we can get you a jersey. So yeah, we're talking about a new round of jerseys. So, anyways, that's
That's
I
a
mean, I don't
sneak
want
peek.
to.
That was a
Yeah, that
sneaker.
was a super sneak
I think
peek.
that one. I think that one snuck out because Josh is fucking tired.
All
But yeah,
right,
we do
psycho.
have some plans ish.
Good luck tonight.
Oh yeah, shit, man. Well, let's do his list first since I know he's heading out the door pretty soon.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, he was Daughters of Cain. Yeah. So hopefully that's what you're playing. Hopefully that's what you're playing. So we were looking at this list. It looks like you're playing 1970 out of 2,000 points. Daughters of Cain, Scathe Coven, 3 drops. Spell lore is the lore of Shadow's Prayer, and then you also have the prayers of Cainite Cult, as well as the manifestations of Cain. Your first regiment, your general's regiment, is the Medusa with Zealous Orator, Blood Sisters reinforced, a unit of Blood Stalkers reinforced, and 2 Kenrai Heartrenders. Those are 5-man units that deep strike. And then Regiment 1, you have the Melusa Iron Scale with 2 units of reinforced Blood Sisters. And then Regiment 2, you have the Hag Queen with the Cainite Pendant and Doomfire Warlocks. So, yeah, I mean, this list is almost exactly what I'm playing right now, and I'm playing pretty much what Jack Colwood's playing right now, and he's playing in the events. So, really, the difference between what you and I are playing right now is I take that other unit of Bloodstalkers out of the General's Regiment and put it down in the Melusai's regiment. And the only reason I really do that is just because I don't want to put too many units in the General's Regiment to get killed um, for battle tactic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think that that's fine. The Heartrenders are pretty good at getting away from people, and the Blood Sisters, if you get them killed, I mean, you're not in good shape anyways. So that's why I try to keep them in a separate unit, the Stalkers, because they're going to go out there, get in fights, and they're gonna probably die. Although they don't always. The other thing, I think I usually put the Zealous Orator on the Melusai Iron Scale, but I mean, otherwise, this is an exact carbon copy. Now, Manifestations lore, I have considered trying the Manifestations of Cain. I think we've talked about this before. I currently am not using them. Just doing the normal one. What is it?
The Morbiconge.
Morbiconge. Thank you. But I definitely want to get. I haven't built them, and that's really why I haven't tried them yet. They go off on a 6, which is easier with no buffs. Yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. I mean, then there's also the prayer, so you can use the one with the Hag Queen. And I think since they've made some changes, it might be worth giving them a shot. So I think maybe next week when I get home, maybe Jake's going to get a load of the Manifestations of Cain, because I've been playing almost exclusively with the snakes since the last GT, since MIGT. So, so I'll probably give that a shot just so I can, test them with you. But I can't even say that I would change anything in your list. I love it. It's what I'm running right now. And like I said, Jack Colwood's playing the same list in the North America Masters. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great list.
Yeah. Turns out you stumbled onto a good list here. What will be interesting when you play games with the boys today down at the shop, give us a shout, later on, and let us know how you did with them and how you feel that it's going. English is hard.
I'll tell you, deployment is always critical. I mean, it's probably one of the two most important phases of the game, honestly.
Yep.
Like you can win or lose the game just in the deployment phase. The beautiful thing about the list you have is the Ken Ray Heartrenders start off the board. They can come down when you want them to, and the snakes all move 8 inches.
Yeah, they
And
move
also
decent. Yeah.
and also your general can cast, run and charge. So I mean, you have, I think, a nice number of units. I think it has pretty good movement. The Doomfire Warlocks for me have been pretty good. They also can cast, and they can get around the board really fast. I mean, I think that deployment is critical. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I always deployed kind of a castle. Um, but now that I've added, so when I was playing with Marathi, I would castle up even a little bit more than I am right now. Now I can spread out because I have all those reinforced stalker units, or sister units rather, and so I feel like you can cover even more of the board. Um, you might not want to put everything on the front line. Sometimes I've been guilty of putting everything up too close, and then you can charge in. Also, the Blood Sisters unit. I know you want to get every shot you can out of it, but if you're going second, or you think you're going to be going second, you want to give them an inch between whatever units in front of them screening, because if something gets into the screen unit,
Yeah.
they may be within 3 of that unit of bows, and it shuts them off. So that's my tips, I guess, that I use for deployment. Um, Remember that if you find a piece of obscuring terrain in your deployment zone, if you put a unit in there, they're -1 to hit, um, in both shooting and well,
Melee.
they can't
Yeah.
even be shot, but they're -1 to hit
Well,
in
within
melee.
12, you can be shot, right?
Oh, I don't believe in obscuring terrain. You can't shoot something. You can't target it unless.
Oh, that's right. I think you're right.
Yeah, so you can't target if you're in front or behind, or inside or behind it. So,
Yep.
I mean, that's a pretty safe place for those bows because they can shoot out and they can't get shot at or hit very easy. So if you can do that, do it.
Sure.
But yeah, that's what I suggest. Yeah. I mean, your list is easy for me because I play it all the time. The rest of these lists, I don't. I'm not going to be as good at giving advice, but but yeah, I love your list. I love it.
Yep.
Looks good.
Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, in fact. Fine holiday fun.
All right. Thanks for the list submission.
Yeah.
And it started off. What? Started us off with a banger. Yeah, I think
Banger.
that's a good tournament list, actually, right there.
Yeah, that's a thug list. I mean, you're gonna win some games with that.
All right. Let's do one that we're not so familiar with.
Okay. What do we
This
got
one
next?
brought to us from the Colorado Dwarfman.
Okay.
He is running this currently. He sent me this a little while ago. But it is The Finger.
The finger.
1910 out of 2,000 points.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's because of a couple reasons. But it's a 3-drop doing the spell lore of the swamp and the manifestation lore Forbidden Power, which is a little bit different. So he's running in the General's Regiment, Gobsbrack, of course, as the general. Then in his first regiment, he is bringing the Swamp Caller Shaman with Popgrot, and he has the Swamp Staff, and then a unit of Monster Killers, and then 2 reinforced units of Bolt Boys, which is interesting. Regiment number 2 is the Kill Boss on Corpse Ripa Vulture, with the Slippery Scumbag, and then a reinforced unit of Gut Rippers, and then 2 more units of Monster Killers.
Okay.
I think the list suffers from the points I don't know, point sickness, if you want to call it that, because he's bringing the two big vulture models. So between them, and clearly he wants to run like a couple blocks of decent
Monster
shooters.
Killers are really good.
So yeah, the Monster Killers are probably one of the best units in Cruel Boys at the moment. But the two reinforced units of Bolt Boys is probably the problem that gets them into as far as the points, along with the two big monsters.
Yeah.
Everybody runs a reinforced Gut Ripper unit because they're 2 wounds apiece and tough to chew through. It's like, what, 40 wounds there then, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at them right now just to get an idea of what's going on. Yeah, so those Gut Rippers are 5 up save, 2 health, 1 control each. Yeah, I mean, they're a solid, just they have crit mortals, but I think the whole army does. Yeah, you know, the question though that I run into is I don't know what I would bring instead of the second unit of Bolt Boys. Like, I mean, it's like I like one big shooting unit, like I we just talked about
Yeah,
with that unit of or that army of snakes. You bring the one big shooting unit, and then you bring a bunch of stuff to do some damage around it. Well, you've got the Cruel Boy Monster Killers times 3. You got that big unit of, excuse me, Gut Rippers to screen. I like that. I don't. I mean, I like the 2 monsters. I'll be honest. The Swamp Caller Shaman with, or not the Swamp, the Gobsprak and the other Vulture. And if you're just like playing with the Vultures and you think they're cool models, I think that's fine. I really think that I like the what's the other guy? The Snatch Boss on Sludgeraker Beast.
yeah.
I think.
It's just more
Um,
fighty.
yeah, it's a little more fighty. I wonder if you couldn't get rid of. I'm trying to figure out how many points he is. Looks like he's
Yeah.
320.
Oh, 320.
Yeah.
Well, you could still fit him in there. Like if you swapped him out for the other Vulture hero or
Well,
whatever,
no,
he could
maybe
fit
not
in there.
that. Maybe if you got rid of one unit of Bolt Boys, that
Oh,
would
just
leave
to add him
you
in.
90. You would be 10 points shy, so you'd have to figure out something else. Um, but that would give you a third monster, and that'd be an interesting list if you could figure out a way to work out the points.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say maybe drop a unit of monster kills, but they're so good. I was just looking at all their stuff. So they're 2 health apiece, which is nice. I guess probably all Cruel Boys are 2.
Probably.
But their melee profile is pretty good because they have base 1 rend, and they also get 1 rend against monsters, and then they have crit mortals on their weapons, so pretty good there. Just on a base attack of the unit. In addition, if they're targeted with a monster rampage and a 2-up, they ignore it. And also, they roll a dice against a monster, and on a 3-up, the monster has strike last. And if it's already damaged, it's a 2-up roll. So I mean, right there, you're just going to negate a lot of stuff from people's like centerpiece models, or gargants, or anything that runs a couple monsters anyway. You can get these dudes into combat with them, and then just negate. You can basically turn a monster off, which is probably super powerful. So those units are probably important in the list. Yeah. Yeah, being down 90 points feels bad overall. Like, you feel like you could fit more stuff in there, but I guess you get the extra command point for doing so. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see how this list plays.
Yeah, I'd like to try it myself.
Because the other, I guess there must be a reason why the other vulture is taken.
I mean, it's cool.
Well, okay, sure. I guess it's got crit mortals on its weapons too.
Jake's
It
video
has
always glitches. I don't know why it does that.
it has the yeah, I'm not sure why my
It's always
camera
done
does that.
since the beginning. Yeah.
I mean, it
But thanks.
redeploys at a minimum of 4 every time it redeploys.
I don't care about that. I mean, that kill boss is there to do some damage. What's Slippery Scumbag do for you?
Let me see.
It would have been awesome if we would have taken some time to know this stuff ahead of the time. On a 3-up, it can immediately retreat after it fights.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So I guess you just get in there and you retreat at a minimum of 4. Or no, it retreats. Yeah, since it's moving like 12, so you come in there, you fight with it, disappears, and then yeah, that's really good, that ability actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean
I don't hate the list. I think that it would be cool to get that Sludge Raker in there.
on top of like the Cruel Boys sneaky tricks or whatever they're called, I think this might actually do well, being 90 points down. Of course, it's, you can't just shove everything into someone's face and expect to live, probably, but
yeah, I mean, you're going to get that extra command point on turn 1, right?
mm-hmm.
I guess. I mean, I don't know if I care that much about that, but I mean, it's a thing.
It basically gives you a free counter cast or a free counter prayer or whatever right off the rip, I guess.
Yeah,
Which can help.
The cheapest unit you have is 100 points, so that's why. I mean, yeah, you don't have anything cheap enough to get in there. But yeah, I'd like to play this list, and I really want to play with my Cruel Boys. So maybe I'll give this list a shot, and we can kind of, after I've played it once or twice, I can give you some advice on Discord if I think that there's anything I would change. But I think it looks like a fun list. And Crew Boys are a pretty solid army right now. So
yeah, no, I like it. All right, that was the first one. Okay, next one comes from 55 burgers, 55 fries from the Discord. Reanimator 3. So he's obviously taken a couple cracks at creating this list. What do we got? Oh, it's a Disciples of Tzeentch Weird Flame host list in a 3-drop. Lore of Change for the spells and Manifestations of Tzeentch for the manifestations. Probably likely because they made the change to the Sigil of Tzeentch, I think it was. That better hands out buffs and stuff to your units.
Oh, okay.
That was the like one notable change I think for Tzeentch in the update.
Which is crazy because they
were already pretty good.
Their stuff went up points,
but General's Regiment, of course, is Kairos. As the general, excuse me. A unit of reinforced Skyfires. Jeez. All right, we're back. Regiment 1 is the Lord of Change with the Baleful Sword, the Illusionist, and the Nine-Eyed. Or Nine-Eyed Tome. I guess I messed that up there. All right, then he has a unit of Blue Horrors and Brimstone Horrors, a unit of Reinforced Pink Horrors, and then a Chaos Spawn. Regiment 2 is a Changecaster, the Blue Horrors and Brimstone Horrors unit again, and Screamers of Tzeentch. Okay. This one, I I guess like Zinch doesn't really struggle too much because they put their two big chickens behind a wall of like impenetrable horrors, and it's very hard to get to them. One, if you're not fast enough to get around them, or two, you don't have DPS check to like get through them. Yeah, it's rough. I played a Zinch player, Andrew, at Michigan GT, and I thought for like maybe I just over anticipate how much damage I can do, because I thought, well, with Usharan and a big reinforced unit of Morbeg Knights, I could just charge straight forward and eliminate his recursion of those fucking horrors. I mean, if that does happen, Zinch loses, because then there's nothing else to get in the way to protect from all the spellcasting chickens. So that's what I tried to do. I failed, and then I lost.
It's reasonable. Yeah. So my thoughts. I like the Skyfire's unit. Reinforced is 6 guys on discs that are going to go out there and be able to shoot, and they're also going to be prospectors for you, so they're going to be able to go out and get some tactics along with those screamers of Zinch.
Yep.
I don't know much about the Changecaster. I'm sure that he's fine. Blue Horrors are pretty gross. And we got some advice to you also from Rob Molshine, who suggested that you reinforce those blue horror units and run pinks in MSU, and then try to consolidate into 2 regiments. So I don't know if he isn't running Kairos or if he isn't running the Changecaster, but I mean, 2 regiments is going to get you a better shot at having the choice of who goes first. And
I think you can. I think you can just put more in your general's regiment, and then the Changecaster, I'm sure, can go underneath either Kairos or Lord of Changes thing. So
yeah, in this particular army, I think picking who goes first and who goes second is more important. Also, having those reinforced blues and brims is going to make it harder to get them off the table. If you have less of the models, you may run into something that has a particularly good damage, and it's just gonna piece out one of those units. But if you have a reinforced unit, it's not going anywhere. And
sure.
then having and then not having the pink horrors reinforced will mean that those will die. They'll reinforce or they'll heal up your blues and your brims, and then you'll be able to bring back those pinks. That's his suggestions. I like the change they made to the chaos spawn where it starts on the table now. So that's kind of cool, because otherwise you just have a model that you just don't get to play with, which is kind of dumb. So yeah, manifestation. I still think Morbicons is the best. But I mean, if you're right and there's some new buffs for the Zinch manifestations, I'm sure that it's probably pretty good. So otherwise, there's not a lot to change there. I agree with Rob. Just try to consolidate that 3rd regiment into one of the other 2. I use, like, a lot of times I'll run a general in 1 unit in my primary regiment, just to give less stuff to kill with the tactics. But I mean, it's just 1 tactic, and they have to be on that tactic and making that move at that time. Yeah. And honestly, if you put blues in that general's regiment, they're not going to die. Yeah. And your Zangors shouldn't die, because you're going to keep them away from everything. And if you lose Kairos, you lose the game. So you shouldn't be losing Kairos either. Yep. So honestly, I think the blues reinforced with the general, and maybe even the pinks, might be the way to go with that, just so you can consolidate. I agree with what Rob said in the Discord.
Yeah, I think Rob nailed it on the head too. Is just combine the blues they won't die. You know, push the rest of the stuff up into your other 2 regiments and win games. That's what I would say.
Victory!
All right. Well,
and you will win games.
and
strong.
for the life of me, and I don't think I put a note in here, so I apologize. But 5 burgers, 5 fries. I really hope. I know that we met or played or something at Michigan GT because we have some. You joined the Discord for a reason, so it must have been from there. But I didn't get a chance, and this is why the only thing I do hate about Discord is like people just pick their funny or whatever Discord name, and then you can't match it up with like a real life person sometimes.
Yeah, you have to realize who they are.
Yeah, so I apologize that I'm not putting 2 and 2 together right now, but if you want to shoot a message to me so I can put it in the notes, so we can shout you out by actual name instead of 55 burgers, 55 fries, if you care about that. So, but anyways, thanks for the list submission. We appreciate it.
All right, last list.
Doom.
Is from Lesser Evil. Tim, our buddy and our teammate. He is going to try to mess around with some Iron Jaws after the changes. So he's playing a 1930 out of 2,000 points Orc Warclan's Iron Jaws. It's the Iron Jaws Brawl. It's 4 drops. Spell Lord is the Lore of the Weird, and Prayer Lord's the War Beats. He's bringing the Kronspine Incarnate because victory. And so in his general regiment, he only has the Kragnos. We've been talking about this for a little while. We've been thinking of ways we can make that work. So we're gonna give it a shot here. His regiment number 2 is just a War Chanter. And then we'll get into regiment number 3, which has a Mega Boss with Trophy Skulls and a Hulking Brute. Then Ard Boys Big Boss. The Ard Boys reinforced, the Brutes reinforced, and then Regiment 3 is a weird knob shaman. So right off the bat, I feel like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters in this army.
Yep, it's gonna be bad news.
I don't like the Ard Boy Big Boss. I don't know why you're bringing him. I'm sure you'll be able to tell us since you're in the chat. I don't understand that guy. I love the Brutes. I mean, we love the Brutes.
Reinforced Brutes, 2 thumbs up. They're gonna fuck shit up.
They're gonna crush souls. I think you're trying the War Chanter just to get the prayers off to get that extra damage, which, I mean, wouldn't hurt to try.
You know what?
The Ard Boys.
This is the problem with Iron Jaws at the moment. This like maybe singular thing. The War Chanter is not a sub-hero that can go with any other hero's regiment.
Right.
He's literally just a fucking priest now.
Yeah, he needs to go into a regiment. GW needs to fix that.
And he doesn't hand out his prayers freely. He doesn't hand out anything freely. You have to pray, and if you don't roll the fucking 3 or 4 up for the thing, he does nothing. Yeah, and he has to be in a regiment on his own. So like the old ways that people ran Iron Jaws, they bring like at least 2 War Chanters, right, to hand out buffs. And you couldn't even afford to do that here because you're going to be, unless you don't care that you're a 5-drop or whatever, right? It's super feels bad thing because he could easily be fit into a regiment with a Maw Crusher or a Kragnos or a Mega Boss or anything.
Yeah, what he's saying is if you wanted to bring a second War Chanter, so you could,
you would be 5 drops in this list.
You have to put him in his own regiment. So in this list, you'd have to make it 5 drops, and that doesn't make any sense.
Anyways, that's my little rant on the fucking Iron Jaws. It's dumb.
So my thought on the Ard Boys is like you have those Ard Boys as a screen, and because they can go out and stand on shit and be tough. Your Brutes are your, excuse me, you got Kragnos as a hammer, you got the Mega Boss as a hammer, and you got the Brutes as a hammer. I don't know that you need to buff the Ard Boys. Their job is to go out there and stand on shit and not die. I'll tell you what the boss does for him. Maybe you change your mind. Okay.
So you add 1 to the shield bash rolls for Ardboy's units wholly within 12,
Okay.
which is not a bad thing. But he also freely gives out roll 3 extra dice on rally rolls.
Oh.
So there's that.
Okay. I don't hate him then. I don't hate him.
Yeah. So basically, you can make a reinforced unit of Ardboys stick pretty well on the board. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're rolling
Plus they
10
have a
dice.
standard. So
How many wounds are they? 2.
I think they're 2 each. Just double check real fast.
Yeah. So you're bringing back some boys.
Yeah, 2 health each, and they're on a base 3-up save. So even if somebody does punch through some of them, like now I don't know if they're gonna. They may not kill anything, but they get extra rend when they get charged. So maybe
Mortals
is
on
the answer.
5s. What makes them do mortals on 5s?
Well, on 6s they would normally have it, but the boss gives it +1 on the shield bash
yeah,
thing.
the one, just one attack, mortals
Yeah,
on
yeah.
5s. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if
mortals
you're
are
doing
fucking
well,
strong right
I mean,
now.
you're rolling 20 dice, right? And a reinforced unit, and then on
Well, yeah,
5s,
you're running 20
mortals
dice,
on
rolling 20
5s
dice, mortals on 5s. You're gonna get what?
at 5.
2 out of 6. Yeah, you should get like 5. It's 20% or 1/3. 1/3 of 20 should be 7, 6 or 7.
So
So,
it's pretty good.
French,
What's up,
what's
French
up,
man? What's
brother?
up, man?
What's the story? We're just doing some Pimp My List right now. We're on our last list. We're just talking about our buddy Tim's Iron Jaws list. So,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, I now
I love the
Kragnos
Kragnos.
is 3d6 charge out. That's what I was just about to touch on, Tim. So I don't hate it because 3d6 charge is fantastic. However, this is the problem that you might run into if you run this exact list: is you're not 3d6 charging the War Chanter. You're not 3d6 charging the Ardboys or the Ardboy Big Boss because why? I mean, they get bonuses if they stand still. You're not 3d6 charging the Weird Knob Shaman. So what do you have left? You have Kragnos, the Mega Boss on foot, and the reinforced unit of Brutes.
Yeah. So let's talk about what. So I'm thinking right now, right off the get, I think I would personally try to cut maybe the shaman and the war chanter. So I give you 250 points plus your short 70, 320. Gosh, I want to get you another unit of brutes. If you want to bring the fucking Kragnos and you're charging 3d6, you want multiple units. And so the amount of bonus you're getting from the Ardboys Big Boss or the Weird Knob Shaman or the War Chanter, is that added together equal to a unit of brutes damage? You know, like the bonus damage you're getting from one unit.
He's paying right now 490 points for the Ardboy unit and boss combo. 490 points. That seems like a lot for that kind of thing. Although they're probably a little bit more sticky than I don't know. I guess the rally helps them.
I think they're a screen. Here's where this list is going to have trouble. You have a lot of stuff that are thugs and that are going to go out there. Our boys are going to stick on some circles. They're not going anywhere. You're going to get your brutes into some stuff and they're going to fucking trash it. But you don't have ward saves and you don't have prospectors. So you're not going to be able to do objectives very easily. And destruction has some of the shittiest objectives or tactics. Sorry, has some of the shittiest tactics in the game, as well as then your guys will eventually get whittled down. You know, and that's what I don't like about the list. What I would change, I don't know, because I like what you're doing. I mean, I guess the thought is you're going to be able to get that big ass unit of brutes. You're going to run them across the table. You're going to get into something. You're going to pummel them, and theoretically, you're going to just take stuff off the table, and eventually, you're just going to outscore because you just have more points. But you're not going to be able to get board edges very easily. Unless what are you going to run Kragnos over there, or are you going to run like your Weird Knob Shaman over? I guess the Weird Knob Shaman can teleport, so
Well,
he can set up and he
still,
can
yeah,
go
but
get
you
your
can't, you
opponent's
can't.
tree piece.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe, but likely you're not going to get that thing off. It's goes off on like 7 or 8 or something, I think.
Okay.
Um,
I love 8 attacks with the brutes. Yeah, like if it's possible with like you. I don't know how, but that sounds awesome. And that's just one unit though, and it's avoidable because they move forward. They do charge 3d6, but the big thing is I just think that it's going to be tough for you to get tactics. And you know as well as I do, we talk about it all the time. You don't win the game by
by
killing
killing,
your
yeah.
opponent.
Now, I think 8 is probably a typo on the amount of attacks you can give brutes. They're 3 attacks apiece base. I think with the Mega Boss gives them +1, and then the Wa gives them another +1 if you're calling the Wa. So you can get them up to 5, I think, easily.
Tell us how you're thinking you get them up to 8.
And
Mega Boss is +2.
Oh, maybe I misread it. I'll double check it. We got to double check Tim's eyesight sometimes. So
that's true.
Tim, reread your rules, please.
On a 2+, add 1 to attack's characteristic of target's melee weapons till the start of your turn.
Oh, they have 2. He has 2 separate
abilities. And then on a 3+,
okay.
You can add 1 to the attacks.
Okay. So you can give +2, then +1 for the Wa, but that only gives you up to 6, not 8.
Is there something that gives +1 for the charge?
Charging is +1. Oh, the sub-faction ability. Oh. Tim's leaned way into the extra attacks, I guess.
Yeah.
Battle formations,
which is fine. And that's fine.
Ironjaw's Brawl, right?
A devastating unit at that point, but it's just 1 unit of 10 bros.
Oh, it's a charge roll of 8+, so you're not always going to get that one either.
But
sure, you could.
3d6. You're rolling 3d6. Yeah, Tim's right. So you should average a 9 or a 10 on that 3d6. So you will probably get that extra attack. You're right. That's not something to sneeze at.
Learn to Crit has followed the Twitch channel. Thank you, Learn to Crit. Welcome.
Yeah, Learn to Crit. Welcome to the squad.
If you got any suggestions, Learn to Crit on this Ironjaw's list. If you want to, of course, voice your opinion. We're just trying to figure out if this is. Yeah, we're trying to pimp this list. Yeah, I mean, Tim, that would be devastating. Well, let me
fuck shit up.
Let me say this: a reinforced unit of brutes at 8 attacks apiece is going to kill whatever it touches, probably
anything in the game.
But what if you only touch a screen?
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, like you're taking a big hammer and making a fucking giant hammer. Unless you can get, I guess if you got all the buffs off and you bang the big charge, and you got into 2 or 3 units, and then you could split your attacks up and like really rip through some shit. That would be fun.
That'd be cool as shit. I keep looking over at my orcs in the closet.
Which, what might help this list if you're going to be doing that kind of thing is this. Maybe the Ard Boys come out. You stick with the reinforced brutes and the Kragnos and the Mega Boss combo thing. You don't need the War Chanter. Fuck it. You're already given 3d6 charge out with Kragnos. You don't need another source of that. You don't need +1 damage buff, because I think you're just going to do enough if you're giving that many attacks out. What about throwing in a unit or two of those weird brute Rekkas?
They're
Okay.
slow, dude.
No, they're not. They have run and charge. And then they'll have 3d6 charge with Kragnos.
Only if they're in range of Kragnos. And you
So
need stuff to
what?
go out and get. You need to go out and get fucking tactics, dude.
Yeah. You take those little idiots. Turn 1, they go stand on an objective or go get one if they can, or board edges for that matter. Turn 2, you bring them inward. You just run them every time. You just fucking run them. And then you've already like established threat with Kragnos and your Mega Boss and Brutes combo. And then by the time you splash that giant wave into somebody and murder half their army, those other dudes now are in range of
runs and charges
with 3d6 charges. It's like, fuck you. The rest of your, like, if somebody decides like they get hit with the brutes, right? Because I would imagine this: if you get hit with Kragnos and the brutes in your face, boom, you immediately have to deal with those guys, right?
Yeah.
You can't let them sit there and attack you twice, right?
Right.
So you have to put a lot of resources into removing those models off the board. And by the time you chew through all that, now your fucking weird brute Rekkas are just flying in from the sides and going, the rest of your shit is... Maybe that's the trick.
Yeah.
Tim. Maybe get rid of the Ard Boys and bring some Rekkas if you have them. I mean, one of two things are going to happen. You're gonna fucking destroy somebody. Or if they can weather your shit, like if you didn't get all your buffs off or something or whatever, and you still ran all your shit in there, maybe you don't live, but it'll be for some funsy games, that's for sure.
Yeah, and your shit will look cool on the table.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the first time I played Jake, when he was playing the orcs, I throttled him on turn 1 because he missed all his charges, and and then I got into him and I did all my first strikes, and it was game. But the second time we played, it was a much closer game. I still think I outlasted him because I have ward saves and I have easier access to running out and getting tactics and stuff. But it was a much better game because he started chopping down my stuff. So I mean, I think orcs are playable, but I think I mean, they're towards the bottom right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about the wounds and the low armor saves on those dudes, Tim. Those dudes are like kamikaze missiles to come in and just clean shit up.
Yeah, I think you should bring you should bring something faster, like pigs, like a unit or two of pigs if you could on the sides. If you're getting rid of the shaman, you're getting rid of the war chainer, you're getting rid of the Ard Boys and the big boss, then you bring something that has a little bit more movement.
And that's a good point too. That and maybe that would fit in there because those big pigs, they do a lot of fucking damage, especially if they get momentum on them. That's for damn sure. I mean, what did I hit you with? 4 or 5 damage attacks? Like,
yeah, they hurt. I'll tell you this: the weird shaman is fine. I think he's fine. He doesn't do a lot in our game. What he's going to be there for is you're going to be able to use him to try to dispel a spell. I don't know. Jake's gotten the Kronspine off before, but it's hard. I mean, the guy doesn't have a +1.
Yeah.
It's an 8 to cast. But the Kronspine's also another threat. It's not really a. I don't want to call it a hammer because I don't feel like it does a ton of damage.
It's a decent monster. I mean, it's like on 2s and 3s or something crazy low hit and wound rolls.
Probably 3s and 2s.
And it's the only. It's the only. Well, whatever. It's the only manifestation that doesn't instantly get banished. Also, so
that is a benefit. I mean, it's hard to get out, but it's hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
What I do like is, like, if somebody is playing with a bunch of manifestations, it's going to go out there and be able to at least clean that shit up.
Yeah, it's the hard counter to manifestations for sure. But
so I feel like probably the Weird Knob Shaman is necessary just so you can play with the Kronspine. But I don't know that you need that other the War Chainer or the Ard Boys or the Ard Boys Big Boss. I think you'd be better off. Yeah, 4s and 3s. I think you'd be better off with something faster to go get your tactics. And I like pigs for that. If they fit, I don't know. I'm not writing a list right now. I'm not putting it in the app. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's decent. It is decent to have out on the board. Plus, it gives you another, another piece to get into somebody and tie them
yeah,
up
and
with it.
they have to take care of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're not. I guess we're not overall. I think we're not high on the Ard Boys and the Ard Boy Boss synergy, rather than putting stuff in there that either gives you better movement, ultimately, like whether that's big pigs, small pigs, those run and charge boys. It. And also, Josh, to your point, is when you said they're not fast. If for some reason there's a manifestation lore out there that can run and charge against that, you know what I mean? Like they could slingshot off something or whatever. I mean, they have ways of getting around the board that's probably sneaky fast.
Yeah.
But
Jeremiah is in the YouTube chat. He said he played a similar list last night. He just had a unit of Gorgrunas and a Big Pig as a light prospectors unit instead of the Mega Boss and the Ard Boy Boss. In 1 versus Nurgle, but Kragnos did all the work. So it sounds like, Kragnos is going to be your big hammer. You're going to have to rely on him. I like the Brutes regardless. I think the Brutes are pretty sweet. Thanks, Jeremiah, for your.
Yeah, I guess the Brutes also turn off 1 and 2 wound models from controlling objectives.
Well, they turn off everything because they're fucking doing 8 attacks at.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, even if they attacked something and there was something else behind, like a double layer of screen or something, they would just turn that off. Also, the way Tim built out the Mega Boss is interesting with the trophy skills or trophy skulls, because that gives him a control score of 10 instead of 2. It
adds 10, so it's a 12.
Oh, it adds 10, yeah. So that's kind of neat. The Hulking Brute is just the impact hits, which is cool. A little bit of mortal wounds, but I don't think there's a better one, to be fair. I don't think there's a better trait to put on them than Hulking Brute. So,
I want to play against this list, and then I want to play against a list that has some of the changes we've done. So maybe we can get a game in against Tim here soon. D6 and an 8+ charge, and you have 3d6 charges if you're close enough to Kragnos. Yeah, that's solid. I feel like you're going to get outscored, but it's going to be fun games. But I think if we make the little tweaks and we bring in something a little bit faster to go out there, like Jeremiah suggested, he used the Prospectors, the Big Pig, and Gorgrunas, you might do a little bit better. Just with your tactics, because like when we've been talking about this, we just keep, like, when you've shown me lists, I've been like, oh yeah, and you're telling me, oh, they could do 8 attacks and stuff, and it's cool. But then I never really thought about it constructively until honestly right now, and I thought, looking at the list, I'm like, I just don't know how you're going to score points. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing.
I think realistically, you can't rely on the 8 attacks, obviously, because you're not going to get every one of those buffs off all the time.
The time you do it, it's going to be fucking glorious.
Well, like the time you may get them all off, you may only be able to get them into their screen or whatever.
You're going to go like 1 and 4 in a GT, and it's going to be like the greatest win ever, and everyone's going to talk about it during the entire tournament.
And everyone's like, oh my god, I can't believe this guy ran 10 fucking brutes into my shit and tagged 3 units and they all died. But I mean, it's a cool story, but like really across 3 or 5 games, it's not going to happen. You might happen once or twice where you do that. Now you may be able to get them up to 4 or 5 attacks pretty easily. 4 because
which
you're going to
still freaking ridiculous.
You're going to do. Let me see. You got 1, 2.
25 hits.
He's got 4.
23 wounds.
5. So he does have he does have 5 heroes, so he can do the wall every single turn.
I thought about that. That's why
Yeah.
I was figuring he did it.
So yeah, so you're always going to be a +1 to charge and +1 to attacks. So you're always going to be at
If
4
you're a
attacks with
big
those
ball of
guys.
murder, if your guys are spread out, you're not.
No, I mean, you're going to be a big ball of murder. I mean, you're going to, what? Fuck, you can't. Well, I guess later on in the game, you'd run the shaman up so he could do while in a later turn. But your initial turn would be obviously probably Kragnos. And then you do the mega boss. They're going to be standing next to each other with them brutes going forward. So
Yeah.
the first two, you're for sure going to get. And you know, Kragnos' 18 is going to be a little bit bigger than the rest of the heroes. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you have a problem getting stuff in there. And it's not hero phase; it's charge phase now. So, like the 18
for
inches.
With
No,
an 18
just
you're in it.
the WA. I mean, you call it in the charge phase.
Oh, yeah.
So you can move shit into the range. Well, maybe Tim, but it's still you still have to have him in position to spread that out in the charge phase. So you can't like auto run your shit too far forward or whatever. Just to
No,
make
he's
sure.
saying like use the shaman on the first turn.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if after movement he's not within 18 anymore.
Oh, yeah, you're right because he is slow as fuck.
Yeah. So maybe
every time you've played with the shaman, he just kind of stands in the back and dies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I played 2 games of Big Pigs against you.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that,
Sure.
Like he could, if he was in a group of brutes or whatever, he could move forward with that unit.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
be safer, but
I think it's for Iron Jaws. I think they'll be a decent RTT army. They're not a good GT army. So, because you know what I mean, like in RTTs, you're not going against like all the time against somebody's meta fucking destroy you armies. It's people are trying stuff out or just having fun or whatever. But yeah. So, anyways, Tim, if you stick with this list for the RTT or you change it up a little bit, that'll be interesting to see on the table for sure.
Yeah, and your shit always looks nice. You have a really good paint job on your orc, so hopefully we can figure out a good list for your orcs because I love to see them. Makes me want to build and paint my orcs, but I'm not gonna.
Well, at least not right now, anyway, right?
No, not this day.
We
can find you. We can print you a crown spine.
Yeah, I got a crown spine, Tim. You can borrow.
Yeah, you can either borrow it or you can print one. I have a file. There's probably one on the Old Man Gaming thing. I'm pretty sure there's a crown spine there, and if it's not, then I definitely have it, and I can make sure you get that. It's just the one that we use, that snake one.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a regular crown spine and that snake one, but Jake just uses the snake one in every tournament, and the file I have is, I think it's from Artisan Guild, maybe, and it's a smaller one. You just got to make it bigger.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe I'll get to play Tim at the RTT. I mean, obviously we wouldn't be able to play round 1 being on the same team and all with the BCP shit unless we grudge. However, I've been called out by a couple other guys for grudge matches, so I think I'm spoken for round 1. So
okay,
we'll both have to lose Tim, and then we'll play round 2 maybe.
We never get to play with Tim because he lives too far away. So hopefully,
there you go.
Play it on TTS.
Yeah, okay. He called me out. I was just thinking about it at a tournament, but yeah, sure, we could do TTS.
Yeah, you guys
someday.
could do a bat rep on TTS. I don't know what 2026 means. Oh, we're not going to talk about 2026 on the internet.
All right. I guess that's all the list we have for you guys today. Appreciate the guys that sent their lists in so we could go through them. I know it was a last minute type of request, and we got 4 lists to look at. So
It
very
worked out
good.
perfect.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, thanks for helping with Tim's list, and Ray, thanks for coming on and chatting with us earlier. French, always a fucking pleasure. We love to see you. Who else?
Yes, sir.
Psycho Philosopher. You got the last ticket to OMG tournament and bringing Crondies, Karzai with -2 attacks for fun. Yeah, I love it. Can't wait to see it. We're looking forward to seeing you there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Ray, anytime, man. Usually we try to stick with topics on this show here that centers around competitive tournament play Warhammer.
Yeah, learn to crit. Send it in. Are you on our Discord? Get on our Discord. Link should be in the show notes, and we have a Discord section that's Pimp My List. And if we don't do a Pimp My List show too soon, we'll talk to you on the Discord about it.
Yep.
But yeah, we'd love to talk about your list on our show as well.
For sure.
Awesome.
Send those freaking lists in, man. It gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, we like to do the Pimp My List shows. This is our second one. I really enjoyed the first one and this one. So
yeah, I think we might target these type of shows maybe once a month ish. Just meta shifts, and every couple of months they're going to put a balance update out anyway, so it'll change people's lists around.
We have some newer players in our store group, so they may need some help with some lists too. So yeah, I love it. Bring them. Everybody add your lists.
Yep.
We're having a good time.
So hopefully today was helpful. At least just talking about units and armies and what the possibilities are, or what we think you guys could change up to make your list even harder to play against. But again, thanks again for everybody that put it in a list. Probably can't do this show without you guys putting your list on the Discord. At least
we would have just had to make up some.
Or we would just have to fucking fake it, and I don't want to have to do that. So appreciate you guys for participation. Appreciate the viewership
and for coming in and talking to us about your list, Tim, and it helped because we get an idea of what you're trying to do. So
that's awesome. It's literally the fucking best is when we have live chatting going on. Makes it real enjoyable for us to do the show.
Love it. Tell your friends. Have your friends come out and check us out. Watch us on YouTube. Like, subscribe. Join us on like Instagram, like Ray, and apparently Twitter. I didn't even realize. And help us get a little bit bigger and a little bit more well known in the hobby. And we're gonna have more fun. And as far as Lady O and 40 Hex race go, I agree. 100% run that list.
Josh is in for it.
I'm all for Hex race. They're the best unit that's ever been built for that army since day one. So.
Yeah, I mean, like Ray, I think, and we talked after we had a game Thursdays. I think just a small tweak to your list, and you'll do just fine. Literally, you'll be fine. So and realistically, like doing fine. When I say doing fine, don't think that means that I think you're going to win a bunch of games. Doing fine, doing fine to me means you played the game, you had fun. Whether you won or lost, like you learn more about your army. You come away like out of the games thinking, "Oh man, I'm excited still to play this." And I did this thing didn't work this time, so I'm not gonna push my units into that unit again, or whatever. Well, you play against a different.
See you learn to crit.
A different fucking army that you've never played against before, and shit like that. So, like all those things, like when I say you'll be fine, that's what it means.
Yeah, And there you go. And also Ray, listening to stuff like our show, listening to some of the other YouTubers, Honest Wargamer, the Warhammer Weekly show, we listen to a lot. That's part of the thing to make you a better player is to learn how to play your list, and part of it is to learn how to play against everyone
Yeah.
else's list. So the more you know about different armies and stuff, the more you're gonna kind of know what to expect, know what is dangerous. Like if you saw an orc player across the table and you hadn't played orcs, you might not know that you could those big brutes can do 8 attacks, and
Yeah,
you're gonna
sure.
get into them, and then all of a sudden your shit's gonna disintegrate, and you're gonna go, "What the fuck happened?" But now you're gonna know because you
Yeah.
listened to our
So
show.
so now when Ray draws Tim at the RTT, we can say, "Hey Ray, we fucking told you, man.
We
we
told you.
told you, we told you what was going to happen. Tim did it to you, and yeah, your fault."
Yeah, you don't have to buy all the books. You can go to WoW Wiki, or you can go to some other stuff. There's
Yeah,
going to be somebody out there that puts out the army builder if you don't want to pay for it. So
sure.
there's always ways. That's the beauty of our hobby is the community loves
Plus,
GW and
yeah.
hates GW.
Plus, I still think like even more so now that there'll be book leaks that they're not going to be available to the general public in the app. So, but anyway, that's a whole nother topic in ball of worm or whatever ball of worms. Yeah. Anyways, again, thanks for everybody coming out. That's all the time we got for you today. Look at that, we nailed it under 2 hours.
Wow, it might be the first time ever.
Yeah, it might be the first time if we got out of here anytime soon. All right. In the interest of keeping it under 2 hours, check us out in the next show. Later.
Goodbye, friends.